Alright guys, we're back with an update here on the Powerwheels Raspberry Pi, aka Raspberry Pimp My Ride. This is version 1.2, and there was quite a bit of research and troubleshooting that went into this. A few lessons learned here that would, I would say, drastically expedite the process if someone else wanted to do this. First one would be, if you're going to run Emulation Station, just go with RetroPie as your underlying build, and then build on top of that or modify on top of that build as you see fit. So in my case, I messed around with Raspbian and tried to get Emulation Station to function on top of Raspbian. Spent a few hours on that and ended up just going back to RetroPie as the underlying build and then modifying that. So I added a desktop environment to the RetroPie build. By default, it doesn't have one. And then I also went ahead and modified it so it didn't automatically boot into Emulation Station. Instead, I tied a one-liner to a cron tab to have it launch my custom application, Powerwheels.python or Powerwheels.py in my case, at boot. So that's what you see here. It boots up into this screen. And you notice one new icon there. I don't know with the glare, I don't know if you can see it, but it's essentially a picture of the the RetroPie logo. So you have the Halloween soundboard, music, videos, and then you have the RetroPie. So I'll just show you, we still have the movies here. If we want to play a video, there's Squidward. Same thing, we touch it to stop, exit, go back a screen. Let's launch Emulation Station. So I had to do a few modifications there. Since I'm running the Python application that I built in full screen mode, you can't easily iconify, they call it iconify in Python, minimize that program. So I had to go in there, and when I call the RetroPie button, part of that function will resize the screen for the Python app, and then it will launch Emulation Station in full screen over that. Same thing, once Emulation Station is exited, it will then call back to full screen mode on the Python application, which I'll give you guys a look at here in a second. So I threw a few arcade games. I got all the Nintendo games, Super Nintendo. Kept it pretty basic right now. We could just jump into a quick arcade game. Burger Time, one of my favorites. So this jumps out of full screen, and then when it launches, it'll jump back in. A couple workarounds we had to do, but at the end of the day, functioning as intended. So there's Burger Time. Pop in a couple quarters. Got a Super Nintendo controller here. Got to find a nice mount point for this. So yeah, you would play it. Then when you're done playing the arcade, there's a 2-button hotkey, select and start same time. If you're familiar with Emulation Station, take you out of that. And then if you want to get all the way out, you just go to quit. So you hit start at the selection menu, go to quit. And then you'll say quit Emulation Station, yes. And this will drop us back into the custom application where we can then jump into music or whatever we want. So again, this is version 1.2. Not sure what I'll do next. Maybe look at putting some robotics on this. Maybe like a squirt gun on the front that can be controlled from the touch screen so she could squirt stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get her in trouble. So we'll see. When time allows, maybe I'll expand on this. Probably end up letting her kick the tires on it and see what she does and does not like. And if she has any requests, I'll see if Dad can't program it for her. Alright guys, just want to give you a quick update on the version 1.2 of the Powerwheels Raspberry Pi. Until the next one, take care.